The Each-uisge Scottish Gaelic XK literally water horse is a water spirit in Scottish folklore known as the Each-uisge, anglicised as the Each-uisge in Ireland and Each-uisge on the Isle of Man. It usually takes the form of a horse and is similar to the Kelpie, but far more vicious. Recorded numerous tales and traditions concerning the Each-uisge. In one account, a man who was about to be carried by the water horse into the loch was able to save himself by placing both feet on either side of a narrow gateway the horse was running through, thereby wrenching himself off its back through sheer force. A boy who had touched the horse with his finger and gotten stuck was able to save himself by cutting it off. A Highland freebooter encountered a water horse in its human form and fired his gun at it twice with no effect. But when he loaded it with a coin made of silver and fired again, the man retreated and plunged back into the loch. The Each-uisge is unpredictable. It has been known to venture forth on land and attack solitary individuals, while in other accounts, it will allow itself to be used as farm labor until its owner gets on its back and is carried into the loch. In their predatory hunger, water horses may even turn on their own kind if the scent of a previous human rider is strong enough on the monster's body. A Foot Gray records two Each-uisge tales relating to the River Spee in the Cairngorms. The Each-uisge was a white water horse, which despite not being the usual black color was otherwise traditional, seeking out travelers on stormy nights in equine form, and leaping with its victims into deep pools. The yellow horse of the Spee was an even more unusual color, and its preferred victims were married couples. Gray also notes that Highland Each-uisges appear to have been richly caparisoned, and that if a woman could get a hold of the rich bridles and replace it with a cow shackle, then she would have power over the Each-uisge for the rest of her life, and that the bridle would bring her good. The Each-uisge also has a particular desire for human women. Campbell states that any woman upon whom it set its mark was certain at last to become its victim. A young woman herding cattle encountered a water horse in the form of a handsome young man, who laid his head in her lap and fell asleep. When he stretched himself, she discovered that he had horse's hooves and quietly made her escape. In variations of the tale, she finds the presence of water weeds or sand in his hair. In another account, a water horse in human shape came to a woman's house where she was alone and attempted to court her, but all he got for his unwanted advances was boiling water, hurled between his legs. He ran from the house roaring in pain. In a third tale, a father and his 3 sons conspired to kill a water horse that came to the house to see the daughter. When they grabbed the young man, he reverted to his equine form, and would have carried them into the loch, but in the struggle they managed to slay him with their dirks. Despite its amorous tendencies, however, the Each-uisge is just as likely to simply devour women in the same manner as its male victims. The Each-uisge or Irish water horse is similar in many respects to the Scottish version. It sometimes comes out of the water to gallop on land, and despite the danger, if the Each-uisge can be caught and tamed, then it will make the finest of steeds, provided it is not allowed to glimpse the ocean. The Each-uisge or Eich-uisge, the Manx water horse, sometimes confused or conflated with the Glashtan, is just as ravenous as the Each-uisge, though there are not as many tales told about it. One of them recounts how a Eich-uisge emerged from the Windoo Black River and devoured a farmer's cow. Then later it took his teenage daughter. The appearance of the Each-uisge on the Isle of Skye was described by Gordon in 1995 as having a parrot-like beak, and this, with its habit of diving suddenly, could be from real-life encounters with the sea turtle, such as the leatherback sea turtle.